Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gianna and this is Closet Conversations. However, I'm not in my closet today. I'm in another unfinished part of my living room because, we're just going around the house until my closet is back ready for us to get in there. But we still have to have these closet conversations because the fashion industry is not stopping for anybody, right? So we're talking fashion today. Well, kind of like fashion and art, and luxury and lifestyle, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because that's how the conversation goes here. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. If you know someone else who would like this kind of content, please share it. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Join the conversation. Let's know what you're thinking and where you're going with this. Today's show, I just felt like showing that, I'm an 80s baby because I am. And as 80s babies, we loved Lisa Frank, right? We loved Madonna. We loved all these over-the-top things, right? You know what else we loved? We loved that Takashi Murakami. Excuse me. That Takashi Murakami collab with Louis Vuitton the first time around. Now they have a re-edition, and we're going to get all into this re-edition because I know you want to know my thoughts, because people have been asking me what are my thoughts on this re-edition. And so we're just going to jump right in. I'm pretty annoyed. I'm pretty annoyed. In a word, I'm annoyed by the re-edition. I noticed that they called it a re-edition rather than calling it a collaboration, and I think that was on purpose because they know that this is not a collaboration. This is an actual re-edition, which for someone like me who is a collector who bought as many pieces as I did the first time around, it makes me mad because there's no newness, there's no creativity. This is not another collaboration with Takashi Murakami. This is them using the same stuff from that last collaboration and putting it on more updated bags, changing a few things if they did, and going ahead and just re-releasing it because it was wildly popular at the time. It was wildly profitable at the time. It has not waned in popularity over the years in terms of people are still commanding really high prices for the original collaboration. And so now they've decided to just capitalize off of it again, which puts me where if I know I have a collector's item. I don't know. When gathering my thoughts about this, I was just like, but there must be something. Okay, there's something. The packaging is different. They've offered stickers and stuff this time. There's a notebook. I want the notebook. But in terms of, for me, okay, so I have, I brought along all the things. So I have like this one from back then. This is the Troville. This is in multicolor. The Troville has not been re-released in this re-edition. It is like cut down like this, and they call it an east-west. They don't have a name for it. It's just east-west. But it looks exactly like this. It's just cut down shorter. Right? And that's the multicolor, right? So then you say, okay, maybe he's only doing, I have some other multicolor pieces. I'll just show you right now. This was the original Speedy, mini Speedy in multicolor. The same bag has come back out. I think they put a bow for the cliche for the keys. And of course, this is not where the key goes, I think this time. The lock goes this time. Oh, and they put D-rings so you can put a long strap. But that's it. It's the same bag. Right? Same bag. Then they did a pochette accessoire with the panda, the super flat panda. Here it is. This time they put it, the panda is oversized, so the ears come up here, but it's a panda. Then on the back, there's nothing. I have the back of the panda on mine. So I don't even know if I'd call that an improvement. They put a chain. There's like a chain strap you get plus the normal pochette accessoire strap. This I use a longer strap with. But yeah. And this is an original Louis Vuitton longer strap. It's just that I like to wear crossbody when I'm wearing it. Yeah. So they've done that as well. Then I also have, those are going to be dropped later. So Murakami is going to be in, I think, 3 drops. So the first one is the multicolor and the super flat panda, which I just showed you. And the multicolor comes in, what they did change about the multicolor. This one was the Speedy from before. And I have the Shirley. I forgot to take it out. So I don't have the eye candy of the Shirley for you. But I have the Shirley in the black multicolor. So the Shirley is like a clutch with a removable strap. They didn't re-release that at all. This was the original Speedy 30 for the multicolor, right? This was a very sought after bag. Right. So they're dropping the multicolor, the super flat panda, which is what I just showed you. Then they're going to have another drop with the cherry blossoms, which I also have from the original time around. And then they're going to drop the cherries, which I have as well from the first time around. So, for someone like me who is a fan of Takashi Murakami and Louis Vuitton, someone like me who is a collector, what did you do for me? Like in this new edition, 21 years later. And Takashi Murakami, like, he's still alive. I would imagine he's still working. I'm not really sure. But like, what was new? What did you do besides just capitalize off of what you capitalized on before? Remember, I need you guys to understand why I would feel the way that I feel is because I even saw Luxury Law put on his Instagram the original collection and say, you don't have to buy the new re-edition when you have the original. And that's the thing. I feel like all of us who like invested in that collection and really were fans of that collection, like terribly disappointed in this collection because it's like, where is the, what did you do 21 years later? Like I'm in shock over here. I'm almost speechless as to how you can allow 21 years to go by. Then you can decide as a fashion house that, look, we're going to tap back into him. Just like we did with Yayoi Kusama. Please remember that Yayoi Kusama's first one was in 2012 and the second one was in 2023. So that was 11 years time difference. His started in 2003, Takashi Murakami. 2003, but it wasn't just like a one drop thing. It went on for years. I think up to like 2005 or 2006, you could still be buying the multicolor collection because every time they had a new bag, they would put the iteration in the multicolor. So there were a few bags that you could only get like limited, like these were limited. Like it was one drop of this, one drop of the cherry blossoms, and my panda. The panda was interesting because the panda was not released in the US the first time around. It was released, it was a Japan exclusive for the panda, this one. It was just that I had a really good relationship with my SA at the time. I don't even remember which store that was. But she had called me, she had gotten one. And she called me and she told me, hey, I got this panda. It's a Japan exclusive. Have you seen it? No, I hadn't seen it. Okay, so do you want to come? Remember, back then there was no social media. So she's like, okay, do you want to come and take a look? And if you want it, and I was like, I'll be right there. Because at the time I had been trying to get this same style, the pochette accessoire. I had been trying to get it in the multicolor, but it had sold out. And they had the I Love collection, which was also Takashi Murakami. Which had the multicolor, but the eyes. There was eyes with 33 different screen prints in the eyes. And the eyes were throughout. And you could get that one, but of course I didn't get it either. So as a concession, she went ahead and called me when this came in, because I had bought, I don't remember if I bought this first or this first, but this was my compromise for not getting the multicolor in the pochette accessoire. But this was the panda that nobody had because it was a Japan exclusive, right? So now let's really think about this as people who are into luxury, into art, into fashion. 21 years later, it's the same stuff. Just put on the updated bag. So you have the multicolor and on the go instead of the whatever it was before, right? So you have it like that. But then some things like this mini speedy, because it's still around, they just made it, you know, how they do the mini speedies now with the longer strap and all of that. Yay for them. They're going to make tons of money. They did pre-orders. I mean, there's barely anything in the stores. So yay. Good job, Louis Vuitton. Because you capitalized, because so many people didn't get it the first time around. And, you know, if you're young at heart, if you're an 80s baby that didn't get it back then, if you're a 90s baby that didn't get it back then, you're going to want it now. And you probably have the means to get it now, so you'll buy it now. Fine. I'm not hating on that. I'm not. I'm just saying, if you're doing a re-edition, well, don't do a re-edition is basically what I'm saying. I'm saying do a collaboration again and have like a more in-depth, you know, so that people who love this stuff can say, oh, this is different. I got this one to go with that one. So now my collection has expanded. Kind of like the Yayoi Kusama. Now, Yayoi Kusama, all of 90 up there. I don't know how many 90s she is now. Probably about 95, 96. Hers were 10 years apart, 11 years really. But I think they peg it at 10 and they peg Takashi at 20. Now she, still working again, the first time around, she did the pumpkin dots and the wave. I never got the wave. The wave was done in the Speedy and in the Neverfull. In pumpkin dots, she did pumpkin dots though, and that was done in like the keep all. I had the pumpkin dots and a scarf. So I didn't bring my keep all down because I'm in my living room. But I did bring the scarf just so you get an idea of what the pumpkin dots looked like. So this was a pumpkin dots pattern. And she did the pumpkin dots and the wave in the 2012 edition. In 2023, she didn't do pumpkin dots. She did pumpkins. Let me see. Can you actually see the pumpkins? Look. I don't know what you can see, but it's an actual pumpkin. And if I need to make it easier for you, I can. Because that was how in-depth her collection, but hers was a collaboration again. It was not a re-edition. That is the difference. I think that's how they save themselves. But see, she did the pumpkins. So whereas the dots, the pumpkin dots went along the way a pumpkin dot would, right? Right? This one, she did the actual pumpkins, right? So that was the first thing. She also did though, so you see like how Takashi's, his multicolor, and then his super flat panda, and then his cherry blossoms, and then his cherries are all going to drop. Hers was the pumpkins in 2023. The pumpkins. It was the infinity dots. So this is just dots all over the place, everywhere. And then it was also the painted dots, which were these multicolored dots that were on different bags and different accessories, etc. Ooh, now I'm looking real 80s though. Excuse me. I might just have to keep these on. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. So she did the infinity dots. This came in black and white, red and white, and black and yellow. The painted dots, which were all in multicolor, and she did the pumpkin. So those were 3 different iterations from before. Like none of those were included in her first collaboration. Her first collaboration was the wave pattern of the dots, which it kind of just looked like moving dots around, and she made squares out of the dots, like so you could see the LV come through. And so it was just that pattern or the pumpkin dots, right? It's not pumpkins, it's just pumpkin dots, right? So it would be shaped how the dots are shaped in the pumpkin. So then the second time around, when she did 3 different, I think she did 4 to be honest with you. I just can't remember what the 4th one was because these are the ones I got. But I think I got everything. So it should be painted dots, infinity dots, and pumpkins. So she actually, at 90-something years old, came up with a whole different collection, and they used it on all their different pieces and everything, and was very extensive. They also did a AI, augmented reality like thing in the app where you could win like electronic stickers. They also did the vending machines that they have for Takashi Murakami. They also did those in store. There was so much more from Yayoi Kusama than there is from Takashi Murakami. And yes, the packaging is pretty, like I'm saying, but I'm saying for a fashion house, for Louis Vuitton, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty lazy. In 2025, this is like a quarter of a century. This is 20 years, 21 years really after you dropped the first one. I just think it could have been a lot more in depth involved. Maybe you decide on different colors for the multicolor or different ways of doing it. Maybe you mix the multicolor with a different pattern. What happened to your camouflage? He had done monogramouflage back then. Maybe interpret that in multicolor. Like, I don't know. There should have been something more interesting, something to make people want to part with their money. Am I sad that I don't want anything besides a notebook that I probably won't get because it can't be found? Am I sad about that? No, I'm not. I mean, remember, I'm trying to spend my money on more meaningful things for my son, etc. So it's not hurtful to me because I do have my pieces still that I love and that I use. And that's what it's about. It's not about like keeping them on the shelf or just collecting them for collecting's sake, which I struggle with that as well. But it's for being able to use your products, so at least I can still use these and not feel like I need new. So I'm not mad, but I'm mad from an artistic point of view, from someone who likes the culture pushed, the community enhanced, the whole, you understand? Like, I lecture art history and I use the Takashi, I reference the Takashi Murakami collaboration all the time. You're leaving it in history. You're leaving me to just make this one a footnote rather than going into what went on this time, what different happened. Well, you know, like, all you did was make space for those who didn't get to get it the first time to get it again. Like, I just think that's a little, it's not cool. And for me who had it before, and there's this, I don't know, there's this hint towards exclusivity with luxury goods. You know, now you've ruined that as well, because if I got that, because this won't lay straight. Yeah, if I got those items because I thought, you know, hardly anybody would have them and it's exclusive and that sort of thing, and you turn around and you re-release, it's not the same, but it's close enough, and you re-release it, how does that make it exclusive anymore? How does that make it? And in a lot of cases, like in the Speedy, okay, so in the case of the Speedy, I like to wear crossbodies. This, you can't wear crossbody unless you put the strap like here and here, which is not ideal, and they tell you not to do it, right? So in the case of you updating the Speedy and making it better, right? Well, it's arguably better because I think this canvas is probably better, but the design, you made the design better, you enhanced the design. In the case of you doing that, what am I supposed to feel like? Is it that you want me to then abandon this and go for the other one? Like, it's so messy. It's so messy. The whole decision to do a re-edition is just messy, especially if it's a limited edition collection. Limited edition means limited edition. I did a limited edition last year, and I'm going to try to figure out how to do something similar, but not quite it this year, because I don't want the people who feel like, oh wow, we got it in a limited edition last year and now she's going to make it an open collection. Which this one is, okay, fine. You only took pre-orders, but how many pre-orders did you take? I don't know. Did you only produce based on your pre-orders because you didn't want to lose any money in case it fell flat? Like, okay, thanks for coming to my rant. And I'd love to know how you guys feel about this in the comments. Just tell me, did you have any Takashi Murakami from the first time around? Did you snag anything from the re-edition? How do you feel about it? Are you someone who had from the from the collaboration and then got in the re-edition? And what did you get? And how do you feel about it? Am I just being, I don't know, anal, a snob, too artsy in my thinking? Like, tell me, am I wrong in how I feel about this? Because I mean, yeah, and I'm going to enjoy this bag with my outfit today, and let me know what you think about that too. Also, did you guys notice that I feel like when I look at their black multicolor, I feel like there's something different about it and I cannot tell what it is. I don't know. I feel like it's missing some colors or something. Something was weird about every one of them that I've looked at. Oh, and they did the silver hardware with the black this time around. How do you guys feel about that? Do you like that more? Anyway, thanks for joining me for this closet conversation. Sorry it was a bit of a rant, but you know, I am passionate about these things, and I am very into limited editions. I don't really buy the regular stuff because I expect it to be, you know, something that only a particular set of people will, you know, find appealing, and therefore it's what makes my heart sing, and I love it so much. So I feel like, you know, there should be some reward for actually going after it, which is the exclusivity. So you can let me know. I mean, I know it's a myth. I know it's like, I know it doesn't exist, right? But still, I just feel like it's moving the goalposts and not being really fair to those who got in the first time if you're gonna re-release it later on. Because then at that point, I was in college, you know, like I had to like really decide on what I was buying, whereas I could have just waited till now and just cleaned up. But let me know what you think about this video, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you think someone else would like it, please go ahead and share it. And as usual, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and turn on that bell so you get notifications when I put up new videos. Thank you so much for joining me, and please join the conversation in the comments. Have a great day, guys. See you next time.